Hey, this is Chris, keeping it real. Just left Lowe's. Lowe's is packed. Parking lot full of cars. Now, once you got inside, it wasn't packed. I mean, they got big signs everywhere. A lot of people wearing masks too. Although I hope you realize if it's not an N95 mask, you're not doing yourself any good at all, and you're not doing other people very much good, because all you got to do is stay 6 feet away. John Campbell says 2 meters distance defines our existence. I'm not so sure about that, but there has to be some kind of rationale. But of course, I guess the whole thing is, if the particles are that small, your chances that hang in the air, when you exhale or when you cough or you sneeze, you're constantly exhaling droplets of water, and some of them are so small they actually don't fall to the ground. They become part of the atmosphere. But I would imagine those have to be pretty small, and so if they're that small, if somebody has a virus, and it's not very many viruses. My personal thought process on getting the viruses, there has to be an initial dose that's big enough, right? Like there's probably a dose that, I'll forget it. Okay, fine. So anyway, my point of the video is that if we as a society are going to tolerate what's going on at Lowe's and what's going on in grocery stores, well, then why can't we just tolerate it everywhere? I mean, what's the fundamental difference between a restaurant saying, our outdoor seating is open, we're going to make sure all the tables are at least 6 feet away from each other? Why can't a restaurant do that? And just have staff wear masks? I mean, what's the big deal, right? I mean, if you're going to tolerate it in a hardware store, and I was in there for 20 minutes. Of course, I was waiting on somebody to find some light switches. I'm standing over, about 10 feet away from them. I'm like, good gosh, will you not just get some light switches and get out of my way? So I went and got a light bulb while I was waiting, and by the time I got back, they were gone. I was able to get my switches in about 5 minutes, so I had to find it first. But yeah, I mean, this is where the whole argument about sheltering in place kind of breaks down, because if you're going to allow something like this, then you ought to just allow everything. I mean, as long as you're staying 6 feet away from everybody. I mean, to me, that's really the only really defining point of the whole deal, right? Is that you stay away from other people as much as possible. Like, for example, if a restaurant were to open and my wife and I wanted to go, and we went, and all the tables were 6 feet away from each other, not 6 feet center to center, but 6 feet absolute by space, then, I don't know. It's just one of those things you start thinking about it. You start thinking, well, if these are essential, and of course, let's not kid ourselves. People are not there for essential stuff. They're there to get building supplies, because they're bored, probably. Everybody's getting their, yard stuff. Like that's really an essential activity right now. Although, for sanity's sake, it is. Of course, that just goes back to the other video. It's like we can't be cooped up forever. It's not going to work. And in the end, it's counterproductive. So, just like bring that up. So all these essential industries get to have anybody in there anytime, and yet all these other businesses have to close. When it would be equally as easy to have your typical small business stay open and just say, hey, only 3 or 4 people in the store at one time, or 2 people in the store at one time. Call us on the phone, put the number on the front door. There's multiple ways you could do it instead of just telling everybody they can't do anything. And I think that's where state officials lack creativity and lack vision. Well, just everybody's got to stay home. Well, that's when you start making exceptions for like 10% of the businesses and the rest of them just have to close, that doesn't seem fair to me. It's not equitable. It's like convenience stores are open. What do they have in there that's essential? I mean, you got gas, but you don't have to go inside and get gas. You just go to the pump and put in your card and get gas. Now, I understand some people pay cash. Maybe you can have somebody, go in, pay. If you can go into McDonald's, which I don't view as an essential service because it's fast food. An essential service is a grocery store where there's real food, not fast food. Fast food is not real food. Fast food is junk. But somehow they're essential. I don't know. A lot of people are able to go a lot of places with no really good reason. And so I just think that ought to apply to all small businesses. Before we tank the entire economy over this. All right. Got any questions or comments? Leave them in the section below. I'm just signed off, Mr. Sunshine today. Like and subscribe. We appreciate when you do. We'll see you on the next video.